Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at 10 towns that'll creep you out. So, they say home is where the heart is. This is because your hometown is seen as a very safe and special place in your heart. But some towns are nothing but scary. From haunted villages to abandoned islands, check out these towns you would never want to visit. But first, subscribe to Top 10s and press the notification bell too. Coming in at number 10 we have Helltown, Ohio. So, in the 1970s, this town was bought out by the government. This led to all of the civilians being evicted from their homes. Now, these homes were going to be torn down and the area was going to be used as a national park. This is because the town was located in a quiet woodland area. However, they ran out of funding, so this plan never went through. But that was after they depopulated the town. This means the town still sits there, all boarded up. After the citizens were kicked out, everyone either boarded up their homes or burned them down for insurance money. Just imagine driving through the woods one night and hitting this town. Then you see every house is boarded up or set on fire. What's even creepier is the people who dwell around these parts are often Satanists or KKK members. This is because it's an out-of-the-way place, which many unsavory people go to do various activities. People also say escaped mental patients hang around here. In the town is a massive cliff drop named the End of the World, and according to many people, the town's cemetery has ghosts which appear at night. So, Helltown, Ohio is a ghost town in more ways than one. Next up is Hashima Island, Japan. Have you ever seen the James Bond movie Skyfall? Remember that scene when Bond was taken to Silver's Island? You probably thought that was a movie set, but no, it's an actual place. This island used to be used as a prisoner of war camp. However, after the war, all of the workers abandoned the island. The island's prisoners then either escaped, perished in the sea, or were rescued. But many say some of these prisoners still dwell on the island today. There's tons and tons of small rooms in the island, so somebody could be hiding in one of them. You can actually get a boat tour to this place, but it's not for the faint of heart. First off, it's incredibly creepy just to go there, and over 41% of people surveyed said they saw ghosts on the island. But was it a ghost they were seeing, or a remaining prisoner? Next up is Humberstone Chile. So in the 1870s in this town, business was booming. The workers were treated very poorly, and all of those thousands of workers lived in the town. However, thanks to the Great Depression, business declined and then collapsed. This soon caused the town of Humberstone to become a ghost town. All of the residents up and left, except those buried in Lenoria Cemetery. That's right, the town cemetery remains abandoned there today, and according to visitors, the ghosts rise up and walk around at night. Ghosts often show up in photos taken in Humberstone, and the residents of a nearby town named Lakiki refuse to enter. But locals say they can clearly see people walking around the cemetery at night. Are these ghosts, grave robbers, or something else? Whatever's happening in that town, it's very scary. Next up is Pluckley UK. So you may be thinking, what's nicer than a quaint English town? And you're right, they are pretty nice, but there's one place you should avoid, named Pluckley. It's been dubbed England's most haunted village. At night, all of the residents stay indoors with their curtains shut. And there's a good reason for it, because everyone who visits or lives in this town reports ghosts. This includes a highwayman who can be seen on the roads, and also a red lady, which is a ghost in a red dress. You can actually do ghost hunting tours of this town and you get your money back if you don't see a ghost. Some people are pretty skeptical, but even some skeptics' minds have been changed after visiting Pluckley. It's not all that far away from me, so perhaps I should visit it and see if I can find a ghost for you guys. Let me know in the comments if you'd want me to do that. Next up is Pripyat, Ukraine. So this place is probably the most famous ghost town in the world. Now, back in 1986, the place was home to nearly 50,000 people. But in April of that very year, something went wrong. The Chernobyl nuclear power plant exploded. Now, Chernobyl caused a lot of damage, and this includes damage you can't even see, that is, the high levels of radiation. Because of this, people were forced to evacuate immediately and leave everything behind. This included photographs, dolls, gas masks, and everything else under the sun. After 40 years, the radiation levels have finally dropped enough for you to visit, but it's still not okay to live here as it's too dangerous. This really goes to show how dangerous nuclear energy can be, but in my opinion, the most ominous thing about this town is the fairground. The fairground used to be a colourful place for kids to play on, but now it's a very grey and scary area. Next up is Ross Island, India. So this place used to be one of the nicest places in India. That is because the island was home to British government officials. They made it very extravagant with dance halls, pools, clubs, bakeries, gardens, and various other activities. But in 1941 there was an invasion by the Japanese. However, when the Japanese had it, there was an earthquake on the island. This pretty much caused everyone to abandon the island, and it now serves as a ghost town. The fancy structures are all still there, but they're all abandoned. Something about a nice posh place being abandoned makes makes it all the more creepy. And to make things worse, the entire island has been eaten by vegetation. Plants have consumed every single area of the town, and it almost looks like somebody built a very fancy town in a rainforest. There are many legends about this place, but people are too scared to go and check it out. What do you think could be hiding on Ross Island? Next up is Reno Nevada. So this town was once home to thousands of people, but if you saw it today, you wouldn't think so. This was an old mining town, and in the beginning of the 1900s, this place was packed. There were thousands of miners and everyone was making a good living. But by the 1920s, the population was zero. So the people left, but what didn't was all of the infrastructure. A man named Charles Schwab had invested a lot of money into the town. He was making a lot of money from the gold mining in the town, and he reinvested it back into the town. He built a school, hospital, stores, hotels, and even a stock exchange and symphony. But sadly, by the 1920s, this had all been left behind to crumble. It now serves as a very scary ghost town, which I do not recommend visiting. It's been the set for many Western movies, and on those sets, many of the crew and actors report seeing ghosts. Next up is Cremona, Italy. This hillside town in Italy was founded in the 8th century, and it's nicknamed the most unlucky town in the world. This is because of many things occurring which have made it a ghost town. First off, there was a landslide, then there was a flood, and then there was an earthquake after that. All of these things have caused the town to be completely abandoned. Now a locked gate surrounds the town, so you can't get in. However, many people have snuck into the town. In it, they say there are various ghosts thanks to the landslides, floods, and earthquakes. This town has actually been used for a few films such as Passion of the Christ, but now you aren't allowed to film here as it's too dangerous. Would you ever go to this scary Italian ghost town? Next up is Tallingwa, Texas. In the 1800s, the Chisos Mining Company set up shop in this town. By 1904, there were over 3,000 people in the town, but today only 58 people remain. They left behind many abandoned churches and buildings that still stand today, and they even left the locally famous Big Bend Parks. The 58 people living here today report seeing a lot of strange things around the town, and this is apparently the most famous ghost town in Texas. Thanks to this, there are some tourists, which keep the 58 people remaining in the town, but otherwise this may be a complete ghost town with 0 people. Next up is Kolmanskop Namibia. In the early 1900s, German miners went to this town to hunt for diamonds. They built many German-style buildings such as a ballroom, a hospital, a bowling alley, and more. However, by the 1950s, diamond prices had crashed. This caused the residents to get out and move to a new hotspot for diamonds. However, they pretty much left all of their belongings and the town behind. Now the town is being dissolved by the desert. You can get a tour of this place, but it's incredibly ominous. And like many ghost towns, it's surrounded by rumors of ghosts and hauntings. Check out the poll in the top right corner and vote for the scariest ghost town on this list. As always, thanks for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.